I'm about to feed him to the sharks right now. Get him hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it goes. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.
Welcome to episode 80 of the BJJ Campaign Podcast. My name is Jeff Boone. I'm an A3 blue belt, 3 stripes.
Phil Coors, A2 blue belt, 2 stripes.
Philly, I've got exciting news in our Gordon Ryan update.
It's questionable, but let's hear it.
Questionable. He's got a new show on Flow Grappling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
That did sound good.
So he's had 2 guests so far. Fantastic guests.
Is it once a week or every day?
It's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Weird schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. It's kind of like a podcast, almost like a podcast with, Zoom video, basically. But the first episode was with George St. Pierre, and the second episode was with. Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
Yes,
Mario Lopez.
Yeah, he's always tweeting about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's funny. It was both episodes were really good.
I'm not surprised.
And one of the funny things
is he like on the show. Does he act like he does in like the instructionals? Like a miniature John Danaher? Like not as bad, but pretty much?
No, Phil.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if he always acted like that.
No, he's teaching when he's doing that. He's not teaching. He's just having a conversation. But it was good because I don't know if you know the history of why GSP, GSP, George St. Pierre, for those of you who don't know, former UFC champion, has trained with the Danaher Death Squad for years. That's his primary jiu-jitsu coach is John Danaher. And whenever Gordon was young and like still a blue belt, that's whenever St. Pierre came in, and he wouldn't let Gordon train with St. Pierre because he didn't have enough body awareness yet, to not injure him. But then they started training together.
He was real skinny. Like I randomly saw a picture of him as a blue belt or younger when he was like 16 or 18 or something like that.
He looks exactly like his brother, like now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Nicky Ryan. Yeah. I mean, he just
looked bigger than that, but like.
Did you think? I didn't think he did.
But like clearly, I think he was bigger than, I don't know. But yeah, it was funny because he was pretty like skinny.
What I loved about the episode with George St. Pierre was Gordon Ryan explained why he's kind of the asshole on social media.
Okay.
And it was
to George.
Yeah. No, he said George inspired him to go that route because George was always so very nice in his social media, and it always has been, just very respectful and never hyped up anything or never talked shit.
Yeah.
And he said he never talks shit. In every post, there's these haters, these assholes that are posting on there, and he was like, "Screw them. I'm going the opposite way."
Yeah,
like there's going to be haters no matter what you are, so you might as well address it. And so I thought that was an interesting outlook and kind of interesting way that he kind of developed that persona because. Everybody can say what they like, love or hate Gordon Ryan. I like him personally. And I did a seminar with him. I think I've said that before.
Has he ever like disrespected somebody during a competition or like afterwards?
Absolutely
like
not.
Jumped up and down pointing at him or whatever?
Never.
I didn't think so.
No.
Like, I feel like if you're still getting upset with him, it's kind of on you at this point because you're just falling for it.
Right. That's what I think too.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Because like I saw a lot of internet comments about one jiu-jitsu guy that like beat Bernardo Faria and like jumped up and was like screaming in his face or something like that, like super disrespectful. And a lot of the comments were like, this guy's an asshole. And that guy actually seems like an asshole versus somebody who's just out here for attention and you're falling for it. And that's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still paying attention to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
he doesn't care either way.
So social media, for those who don't know, it works by like engagements. So the more you engage with him, even if you're yelling at him, the more money he's making.
Right. Right.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm. But other interesting stuff on there. They both talk about, talking about training. And there's another co-host. I don't know the guy's name. He's behind the desk.
He's way too polite on social media.
Flow Grappling. What?
He's way too polite on social media.
Who?
The guy you don't know his name.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. But he kind of co-hosts it, and he was asking George, you know, what it was like to roll with Gordon and with Danaher, because whenever Danaher wasn't broken, you know, George would roll with him, and I thought it was really cool, you know, just him explaining, you know, Gordon Ryan is the best in the world, and he's like, there's nothing I can do that he's not going to have an answer for. He says, you know, he wants to get in those bad positions with Gordon because he knows that nobody else is going to be capable of doing what he does in those bad positions. And if he can escape it, then that's really good. And with Danaher, he was like, you know, it was funny because he said he's deceptively strong, Danaher, and just methodical as you would expect of him, and just, you know, everything that you do gets you in a worse position with him. So I thought that was interesting. I thought both episodes were good. It was funny because Mario Lopez, he was talking, and Mario Lopez obviously doesn't know jiu-jitsu politics.
Okay. Because
he first, you know, talked about Keenan Cornelius, who Gordon Ryan and Keenan are kind of in a beef now, if you didn't know. But he talked about him. He didn't really say anything. And then he talked about AJ Agazarm, who's just widely reputed as the biggest asshole in jiu-jitsu, period. You know, he's, but you know what? He's kind of playing the heel in jiu-jitsu too, you know? And, but it was just funny. It was just funny because they were like, explaining to him, you know, a little bit of not really saying AJ was an, well, maybe they did, but it was just funny that Mario was getting the lesson on kind of that jiu-jitsu, how everything's not cool between everyone in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Should be.
It should be like that everywhere, but it's not.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The longer you do it, the more you figure out about that, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
So.
ELE. Everybody love everybody.
I like it. I like it. So that's the Gordon Ryan update this week. If anybody gets a chance, I highly recommend you check out the Flow Grappling. That, and by the way, Flow Grappling, we're recording this on Sunday. Not Flow Grappling, but the UFC Fight Pass has Submission Underground coming on Sunday at 6 p.m. So if you got UFC Fight Pass, check that out. That's Chael Sonnen's stuff, and they're going to have tag team jiu-jitsu, and I think Vinny Magalesh and Craig Jones are the big highlight for that. I wonder where they're doing it.
I don't know. Seems like they can't do it right now.
Right?
Yeah. Is it live?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, because Dana White's doing the UFC in a couple weeks, right?
May 9th. Dude, that card is stacked.
Yeah, I thought it was Ryan Hall. It's some other Hall. I saw the card. I thought it was Ryan Hall was going to fight.
Oh, I didn't see Ryan Hall on it.
Yeah, it's another Hall. I don't know who it is, so I don't care about it anymore.
Right. I get it.
Yeah. It was every good fight that I wanted to see was canceled.
You realize that nobody's interested in the fights that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a big UFC fan, so. Yeah, the Khabib one got canceled, and then I don't think I knew it was the other Hall. I don't even know who he is.
Uriah Hall?
No idea.
Okay. I
It's
don't know.
not Ryan Hall. That's who I want to see.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Of course.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fight Ryan Hall.
Yeah. Well, that seems stupid.
So now getting into the main topic of today's show.
Plateaus.
Plateaus.
Yeah. I was thinking about it because we have nothing to talk about. So I was thinking back to like the earlier episodes that we did, and we kind of talked about it that day. And I
Episode 3.
thought it was interesting. Not a whole lot has changed, in my opinion, on them.
No, just to refresh the audience, if you didn't listen to episode 3, Phil rightly points out that we just suck at jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And we're getting better at jiu-jitsu. And there's no real such thing as plateaus. If you try something that you're not accustomed to trying or trying to develop a new technique, it's not a plateau. It's just not going to work right away.
Well, I guess you could say the only way you would really plateau is if you stop training or if you just do the same thing all the time.
Oh,
I like that. You have to be like actively refuse to take part in training. Like not even caring about joining the stuff in class because it's not something you would want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've done that before. Like I've seen something and been like I'm not doing that. Like,
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's never going to happen. So
that's the way I was with triangles.
So I guess if you do that, like you just don't care to learn anything else and you just want to do the one thing that you like to do and you just only do that. Mm-hmm. But that would kind of be your own fault.
So self-induced plateau.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think a lot of people slip into that with their game too.
Yeah, like train, like you show up like once a week and then just kind of screw around in class, don't really care, don't pay attention.
Close guard, cross choke everybody.
Yeah, for months, you know.
Get good at close guard and cross choke then.
I'm not even good at that. Like that was the other thing I was thinking about. Is like I haven't done that successfully in I don't know how long. Mm-hmm. And I've tried. So like I don't even understand how I was doing it before.
It's the only thing you had. You were one trick pony, Phil.
Yeah, but I don't understand how it ever would have worked. That was what was confusing me.
Yeah.
Because like now I do it and it's not even close. So I don't know. But clearly it couldn't have ever been that good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Right. So I was thinking about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be.
But your baseball chokes and all those other things, those are really good. You've developed those well.
In the collar, yeah.
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 But, well, I guess just to finish at that point, but that, like, I think if you show up and only do the one thing like I was doing for a while, but even then, I still wouldn't have called that the plateau in the sense that, like, that's what I was physically doing was the same thing all the time.
Sure.
But, like, I was talking every week about how that's not what I want to be doing. You know, like I had been trying to do other stuff.
Sure.
Or acknowledged that that's what I need to do. Mm-hmm. So I would say that's the difference, just because you're not supposed to be able to do it when you're first learning stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not supposed to work. You're supposed to screw it up and fail and break all of the techniques 1,000 different ways until it kind of starts to work a little bit, and then you fix the other stuff. But that would be why I would argue against calling what I did a plateau. It was just me not being very good at what I knew I needed to do.
Yeah, I get it. And I want to hit on that, one of the things that you said there, and that is, if you show up that once a week and you just you don't train the techniques that you just learned in class, because you're going back to your A game and just practicing that, you're really doing yourself a disservice. I mean, that's why intentionally, whenever we do technique in class, we always have positional sparring from those areas where you can do those techniques. So try them. Like, try them, because that's whenever it's the freshest in your mind. And that's whenever you're going to be able to get your questions answered. Now, is everyone expecting it? Yeah, of course they're expecting it. That's a good thing too.
Well, and I'd argue against that. Like, you do that because there's a lot of times where you have the choice. So I would argue, just because you don't or can't do that, like, you should go in with the intentions of trying it if you see it. But there's been countless things that are on, like, the fundamentals thing that I wasn't ever able to actually try to implement. Like, I'm not doing the mount cross choke because I'm not anywhere near the mount, Sure. Yeah. So, like, there's, if that situation comes up and you're not, like, physically capable of getting there, that's not like a failed sparring class or anything like that. Or, if you're doing the same thing every week because you're brand new, it's because you're brand new and, like, you have to go through that period. But I think that's the right attitude when you have the choice, is to focus on trying to do it because you're, able to do it. So I think that's the right.
Let me just ask you this. So let's take that example, mount cross choke. Well, usually if we did that in class, then in the positional sparring, we would be in mount. So why wouldn't you try it then?
If you have the opportunity, yeah. Like, because I'm saying not everybody does what we do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but when you say that most places?
I can't. I have no idea.
So I've been to a lot of different places, right?
Okay.
And they do that.
Okay.
Whenever it's a lesson, whenever they're doing positional sparring, they'll go from that position where they can get the items. And, Trey Pace, folks up there, they did a bunch of the, whenever I went to Virginia Beach, they did it, it was,
okay.
It was pertinent to the lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something that I feel like most places do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then you should try it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Stop arguing with me.
No, I'm going to keep arguing. I think it's fun.
So as far as plateaus go, how do beats come into the plateaus whenever you're talking about your cardio?
That's a weird question.
Well, enlighten the audience, because you've done some internet research.
That's my secret. I'm not enlightening anybody.
You're not going to tell them?
Yeah, not until I try it. Not until I try it, I came across a random article.
So Phil's looking into it right now. Mm-hmm. We'll just say
I'll report back.
Consumption, beet juice consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Take away from that what you will.
It's a secret. Yeah, and then what? So your biggest plateau that you argued with was the triangle.
Yes.
And then my argument against that was that you never tried to do it before. And, like, just applying that everywhere. I think that comes from, and this was the other thing I was thinking about, is, like, you do the move in class with, like, a super cooperative partner.
Sure.
And you're like, oh yeah, I understand how to do this. And then you never try to do it, in the live situation, which it goes back to your point a minute ago of why you should do it, but, without ever trying to do it. So you only try to do it every once in a while. You fail every time. Never commit to, like, fixing that technique. And then every time it comes up in class, it just gets shuffled into, this is the thing. I'm not good at this, Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to, like, when I do this, they do this. Mm-hmm. And problem solve, it's more of like, I have short legs.
Right. No, that was an easy excuse for me to make. But,
Right.
But, you know, I mean, that your argument, you won that argument because you were absolutely
That's why I'm bringing it back up.
100% right. And guess what? You know what? I got better at the triangle. You know, I'm not ever going to be somebody who's just attacking with triangles. It's just not. Mm-hmm. But I'm better at the triangle now. And, you know, I see it come up in more places, you know, that not just from guard, but that mount triangle. I've been doing that a lot lately, trying to get that mount triangle. Mm-hmm. It's unsuccessful, but that's okay. And also different setups for the triangle. I mean, again, I'm never going to be someone who's the triangle is their A game. It's not going to be that way. But you know, at least you can threaten with it occasionally and know the principles behind it and get better at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you feel like? I know you don't believe in plateaus, but what do you feel like that you was one of your toughest plateaus other than the cross choke?
The Kimura, because I've still quit on it. I just refuse to work on any point of that. And also leg locks. Just those are things that I actively ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because every time I go for the Kimura, I get countered and Kimura'd myself. So I've moved on.
That reverse Kimura is a bitch, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just not one that it's like, I'll refuse to say I'm plateauing with it. And I will just admit that I'm ignoring it and shoving it to the back to come back to later, because I'm assuming somewhere down the road, there's going to be another thing that happens to me where all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, that's what I was doing wrong, but I'm not there yet. So that's just going to get shoved to the back because there's other things I like to do much better that I'll have more success with that are going to take priority. But again, I'm not saying like I'll never do them or that they won't work for me or that I'm at a plateau with my Kimura game. It's that I'm not going to take part in a Kimura game.
At a plateau in your Kimura game.
Yeah.
With the lack of a Kimura game.
Well, see, and my other argument is on a plateau, it goes up at some point and then it levels off.
Yeah. It's never
If we've never taken off, there's
not a plateau.
There's no plateau. There's just still zero. So that's applied everywhere. That's like my open guard situation. It's very bad. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to dedicate a bunch of time to learning the open guard, I said, why don't I try to figure out how to pass? And then maybe through seeing what people are doing to me, I can reapply that other places. And my passing might have gotten a little bit better, but
passing got a lot better.
The guard still needs to be worked on. It's another thing that I'm ignoring, but I don't know how many things. I don't know how many different things you can focus on. You know, how many different moves of the week of the month you can do. And I think part of just accepting that I'm trying, you know, I'm working on it. It's just one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it.
Which I guess is just a different way to look at the plateau, because it's like there's an overall and then there's the individual thing. Overall, I know I've always been getting better since starting.
Sure.
And like if you break that line into each individual position or move, most of them are still flat, but some of them have gone up. But the overall is always improving.
Yeah.
As long as you're trying to improve it. So that's why I say the only way you could actually plateau is if you quit on trying to learn. Like if I treated everything the way I treat the Kimura, I would plateau because I would just not be doing anything.
True.
But if I choose to ignore something because it's not for me right now, come back later.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a super valid point.
Because every time it comes up in class, I get corrected on the same, 4 parts of the Kimura. you're doing those same 4 things wrong again, you know? And I try to fix them, and one day it'll be fixed.
Yeah. Agreed. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
One day. Yeah, it'll happen. One day.
You need to watch that Marcelo Cohen, Kimura.
Dude, I never got the download for that. Like, you were able to watch it, and I never was able to watch it.
Really?
Yep. And then I didn't care anymore.
Fight Hub.
Yep. Yeah, it's James's thing.
Yeah.
I just never cared again to.
Because you just
don't care.
Right. Yeah,
I just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Bad at the Kimura. Don't get more information on it. Just ignore it.
Yeah. My argument with the Plateaus is just like, I don't like when I see people like, I show up and I train and I'm just not getting any better. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, I would just like to talk to each individual person, because every time you read the comments, it's always the same thing. It's like, what have you been like focusing on? What do you want to train? I don't know. I need to get better at everything. It's like, yeah.
It's a terrible answer, by the way.
Like, I know. Which of those everythings would you like to start with?
Yeah. Even if you're not, say something a position that you want to be in more, like taking the back. You know, my default is I'm working on keeping the back, because that's the most dominant position in jiu-jitsu, and one that I feel like I'm going to be good at doing one day, you know, eventually. So why not work on the most dominant position and work on getting out of the most dominant position, you know? But again, that's tough, because a lot of people haven't had that exposure and aren't really getting a lot of back takes. Right. So it's that vicious circle of, well, I don't really get to the back, so I'm not really going to focus on that right now.
Yeah. But then, but you have to pick something.
You have to pick something. Yeah, you have to. Guard passing, man. Guard passing is always a good answer, right? Because I feel quite confident that I'm never gonna have an answer for passing everyone's guard.
Yeah, probably not.
But if I practice it, then I'm going to see what people are doing to retain guard, and I'm probably going to get more options for retaining guard whenever I'm passing guard too, you know? So if your training partner says, what are you working on? And you say everything, take that out of your vocabulary. Because everybody's working on everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick one thing and that can be your answer for like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Guard passing. Boom. Guess what? You're going to get better at guard passing. I would bet.
Yeah. Yeah. I find it hard to choose, like keeping it at 3 things is kind of hard.
I know. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So like half guard, open guard, passing the guard, the crucifix, taking the back, maintaining the back.
Yep. Defending the back.
That's not on my list.
It's not?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
I have too many things on my list, Jeff.
I think you need to add it, man. I think you got to add that.
Yeah, probably. I'm not good at it.
Yeah. So ignore it. Yeah, you're right. Ignore it.
So that's not one I would say is ignored because that position gets trained. Like the Kimura gets ignored because that's up to me to do it. The back thing with in a positional sparring situation, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's just not like, I don't think about it the same way. Right or wrong. Like I do a little bit, but I don't actively like seek out that position. So I wouldn't like try to give up my back to force myself into that position to spend more time there. Whereas I'll try to like get into a crucifix or something.
Sure.
Because that's a position that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
That I would like to get to work on.
Yeah.
Or, like passing the guard, I'm always going to try to get there to work on the passing or the half guard. Like if I was in open guard, I was basically pulling half guard, forcing that position because I needed to work on that.
Sure.
So like that's kind of where I would break that off in the ignoring section.
Yeah.
Like you could put your elbow in front of my face, like you should probably come over this arm, and I'm not going to do it.
No, I know.
That's I think the difference with the ignoring.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Because I know it's there. I know I should do it, and I'm not touching it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
It's off limits.
Yeah, I don't have much more on Plateaus.
Okay. Do you have any more on that? Jocko calls it a Kimura. I always think that's so weird.
Why does he do that?
Kimura.
So odd.
It's weird.
It's his favorite move too. You'd think he'd say it right.
I take it up with him. Send it to the Grounded podcast. Just says it weird.
He does. He does. I forgive him though.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I do. I do. Another thing, the women's role model camp has been moved to August. Is that right?
No idea.
I think it's in August. So
sounds right.
They've rescheduled that, so that's good.
Okay. Is August still on the table for events?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I haven't seen any news on Master Worlds or anything like that either. So I guess we'll figure that out. And on a good note, it appears as if in a couple weeks we'll be able to get back to training.
I hope so.
Yeah. So that's good.
But then they canceled school, so I don't know how that kind of relates with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No ideas. No idea. But I think it's cool, all the online content that everybody's been putting out there. Tom DeBlas has been doing a lot of online stuff. He's going to open up an online academy. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
But anything else, Phil?
I think that's going to lower the price for everything. Like they can't keep those with all the online stuff, especially with all the free YouTube stuff. And I wonder if that's going to make the prices go up or down.
What do you mean of actually getting a membership?
Yeah.
Or an online membership?
Yeah, like with the instructionals and stuff. I wonder if just the quantity of stuff out there is going to kind of force prices down because everybody's doing it right now.
Yeah, but there's always going to be demand for the top level people in their positions, what they're really good at. I mean, there's always, I don't know. I mean, it's supply and demand, right? But there is a big supply, but there's also a big demand, especially right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It is cool with the Zoom versus watching a DVD to be able to be corrected.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Just some of the stuff you don't realize you're doing wrong.
Yeah. That's very cool. With that, tell the folks how they can support us if they choose to do so, Philly.
Memes.
Yeah, memes.
In the Facebook group.
Yep.
What's up, Patrick?
Yeah. Get some memes going, Patrick. Let's go.
I expect a Jeff Triangle meme somewhere.
Oh, that would be good. The one, the guy looking back with the girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see him doing some of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then podcast website and Rashguards are the premier item.
For sure. Most comfortable. They're unbelievably comfortable and durable. It's my favorite rash guard.
Ever.
Of
all time.
For sure. 100%.
You heard it here.
Yeah. And folks, with that, if you're not out there doing something each and every day to get better, try it. Try something. Phil and I choose Jiu-Jitsu. We hope you do too.
I'm about to feed them to the sharks right now. Get them hyped right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Yeah, that's the way that it goes. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.